Welcome back. Today we will be talking about the 5 biggest classical music mysteries or conspiracies. Oh yeah, this channel is gonna go all conspiracy all of a sudden. Joe Rogan, watch out.
Yeah, Joe Rogan.
Should make one of those like clickbaity thumbnails like the truth about Tchaikovsky. The dark secret about Sibelius. Was Beethoven really deaf? Alright, anyway, let's get started. Alright, the first one. The Mozart Requiem. If you haven't heard the Requiem, do you even call yourself a classical musician?
You don't even deserve to watch this channel. Go listen to the Requiem. Now finish this video, then go listen to the Requiem.
90% of you just click off.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of mystery and uncertainty surrounding Mozart's Requiem and his death, because he actually composed it as he was dying. So the first thing that was kind of strange was Mozart got this from an anonymous commissioner. Nobody knows who actually paid him to write this piece. A little bit suspicious. It gets even more sus. He wrote this piece while he was getting sick. He was deteriorating in health. That in itself is kind of also a conspiracy because no one really knows how Mozart died. There's a lot of debate. Some people think he was poisoned. Mozart himself thinks he was poisoned. Other people think he just had some disease. But then even then, there's a lot of debate to what type of disease he got.
Yeah.
There's no evidence for this, but one popular story actually was that Salieri poisoned him.
Do you know who Salieri is?
He's meant to be Mozart's rival, though some people said they were actually close friends, but the narrative is they were rivals and Salieri hated him.
Because apparently Mozart was just a lot better.
Yeah, a lot more talented. I think that's why Mozart himself thought he was getting poisoned, and it's funny because you know the movie Amadeus,
Yeah.
right? In the movie, they actually portrayed the scene where Mozart receives the commission to write the Requiem, and the guy that gave it to him is Salieri in a black mask.
Ooh.
Symbolizing death.
Maybe Salieri, so how to say his name? Salieri knew he was gonna die. And like, you're gonna die anyway. I'm just letting you know.
Yeah.
Write your last Requiem.
Alright, but this is not just it, alright?
Yeah.
So Mozart actually never finished it. He died while composing the Requiem. It was finished off by a man named Franz Sussemer.
So off.
Very off, I'm sorry. But that was Mozart's pupil. Now here's the thing. Sussemer.
No, it's Sussmayer.
Oh,
Yeah, the
this is already
Sussmayer.
sus, right?
Yeah, the Sussmayer.
The
That's
Sussemer. When he was completing it, he actually hand copied what Mozart had written up to and copied the whole thing. So there's actually, in the finished draft, there's no evidence showing
Mozart.
what was Mozart's and what was his. There's some, I have read some evidence, I don't know how legit it is, that Mozart composed up to the first 8 bars of the Lacrimosa, which is kind of the most famous one actually. It's kind of creepy. Like he just finished that theme and then he was gone. Regardless of how much Mozart actually composed, here's the real seedy bit, right? In 1950, the unfinished manuscript was found in Brussels, and the last page was torn out.
Ooh.
So someone stole it from his deathbed. It was a Salieri.
It was a Salieri. He's like, I can't give this guy all the credit.
Nobody knows. There's a lot of controversy. All that we know is Beethoven said, if Mozart did not write the music, then the man who wrote it was a Mozart. There you go.
So you never really know.
Yeah. But go check out the piece.
Yeah.
It's haunting. It's not like any other Mozart though. Because Mozart's usually so like light and cheerful, and there's this freaking Requiem that's just like death.
It's like, yo, you're alright. It's like, yeah, I'm dying. Next one. Tchaikovsky's Sixth Symphony. Was it a suicide note? No one has the pathetic.
The pathetic symphony.
Yeah, no one has the pathetic symphony.
I used to actually think that.
Oh, the pathetic symphony.
I thought that's what it meant. Because pathetic used to mean pathos, like passion, right? I know the meaning means like passionate symphony.
Yeah, we'll just call it the pathetic symphony. This was Tchaikovsky's last symphony.
6th one, yeah.
Yeah, and then it was 9 days after it premiered, he died.
Dude.
How do you time that?
A lot of composers die before hearing the last symphony.
Yeah, but he actually...
It's like 9 days, it was just too coincidental.
I know. I think maybe his willpower is holding him. I was like, or maybe something else happened. So there's been a lot of theories going on. During the first performance, Rimsky-Korsakov asked Tchaikovsky whether there was a program to the new symphony.
So by program, he means is there a hidden meaning behind the symphony rather than just music for music's sake, right?
Yeah, and Tchaikovsky said there was, but he wouldn't share it. Mm-hmm. He basically said it's going to be a mystery for anyone to guess. And his quote's like, "Will remain a mystery to everyone. Let them guess." I'm like, damn it, Tchaikovsky.
I saw all the composers do this.
I know, it's just like, I'm not going to give you guys everything, ha 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 ha. But here's what gets really interesting. There's so many stories about how Tchaikovsky died, but the official story that he died was from cholera. Basically,
from drinking tap water, right?
Yeah, unboiled water. Just tap water. God, we live in good times today.
Which is like, how do you live your whole life and then just one day as a grown adult forget to boil the water?
Yeah,
that's sus, right?
That's the dumbest reason to die.
Yeah, and right after the premiere of the last symphony.
Yeah, like if it was a freak accident, like something happened.
Yeah.
Okay, but something within his control, with his like habits.
Mm-hmm.
How do you forget to just boil water?
If you've been boiling water your whole life.
Yeah, so that's a bit suspicious already. Mm-hmm. He had symptoms of cholera after the premiere. Cholera, whatever. But he also refused for a doctor to examine him.
Really?
That's suspicious. Why would he not want a doctor to look at him?
Yeah.
It's like he just wants to die. He doesn't want to reveal what's actually happening. Like he died on his bathtub saying he wants to be left alone, all that stuff.
Yeah.
There's a few theories out there why Tchaikovsky would have committed suicide. Mm-hmm. One of them says back then the cholera disease brought death only in the worst cases, which was not his case, right? An expert witness working in British National Poison Unit stated that the reported symptoms of Tchaikovsky's illness fit very closely with arsenic poisoning.
Oh, really? So they're saying it isn't cholera. Mm-hmm. That's what they're saying.
Yeah. But this ties in quite well to the context of the situation. Tchaikovsky was gay. At the time, it was very illegal. Not very illegal. It was just illegal in Russia.
Yeah. Yeah, a lot of the world was...
The whole world was like that,
harsh,
probably, yeah. So that probably, I think, most probably played a mental game with him. Mm-hmm. And he even faked a marriage. His marriage was designed to stop people gossiping about his love life.
Yeah, actually, apparently, they were only married for 6 weeks as well. Bro, he tried.
But that is rough.
I mean, he's got I guess it's survival, right? Back then.
He had to try his best. And in fact, it says here, he was in love with Vladimir Davidov. His nephew. I mean, you gotta do what you gotta do to create good music, so... I won't judge.
I'm not one to judge, but whatever floats your cup of chai tea, Tchaikovsky. One of the popular theories, and again, there's no hard evidence, musicologists still look into it, is that he was actually ordered to kill himself.
The order, like, to restore his honor.
Yeah, the court ordered him to kill himself because they found out about his homosexuality, and they didn't want that to become famous because, you know, Tchaikovsky was like a figure within Russia.
But you think about it, that narrative is a lot more believable and it makes a lot more sense.
Before you guys go like, oh, maybe these guys are just thinking too much, overthinking it. I think, to me, the biggest clue is in the music. Tie it back to it's the Sixth Symphony of Suicide Note, right? Because it's not just the fact that it was written, I mean, it premiered 9 days and then he died, but it is the only symphony that ends on such a depressing fourth movement. Well, the only Tchaikovsky symphony, if I'm correct.
Yeah, it's not like triumphant.
The third movement ends very triumphant. It's the ending that you would expect from a symphony, and that's why everyone claps at the end. It sounds like an ending, and then boom, out of nowhere, the final movement is actually the most tragic sounding. Almost sounds like a requiem. It sounds like death. Yeah, and that's why when you take all of that into account, it's very likely.
Such a shame.
Very tragic. Alright, how's this one? This one's for you, music nerds out there. The Elgar Enigma variations. What is the Enigma? Oh. Some of you might not know it, but I'm sure all of you have heard this before. It's basically a collection of 14 variations and a theme, but it has become popularly known as the Enigma variations because it is believed that there is a hidden theme that goes throughout the piece. Now here's the thing, right? Nobody knows what the theme is. Elgar said there was a theme, but he didn't tell people. Just like Tchaikovsky.
Oh, so annoying.
He's like, you guys figure it out.
Oh, you guys guessed it out.
And till this day, people have theories, but no one has conclusive answer to it. Alright, some background context. Elgar loved codes. He wrote this thing called the Dorabella cipher. Just coded a letter to his friend. Like, why not? In the premiere of the Enigma variations, he wrote, "The enigma I will not explain. Its dark saying must be left unguessed. I warn you that the apparent connection between the variations and the theme is often of the slightest texture. Further through and over the whole set, another and large theme goes, but is not played." So that's the real hidden theme. So the famous opening theme, the da 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 da, that's not the actual Enigma theme. There's another theme that goes on throughout, right?
Yeah.
So later on, Elgar gave 6 conditions to the theme. The Enigma theme is a counterpoint to the principal theme, right? There's a theme, he made a counterpoint to it, and that counterpoint is the one he kind of hides throughout the Enigma variation. The principal theme is never heard, but the principal theme is very famous. The fragments of the principal theme are present in the variations. Principal theme is a melody that can be played through and over the whole set of variations, including the entire Enigma theme, so kind of can be overlaid on top. The Enigma theme comprises measure 1 through 19, so 19 bars. So any time anyone came up with a solution that violates one of these 6 conditions, it's invalid.
Dude, it's like an escape route.
Some people think the theme is God Save the Queen. Some suggested Mozart's Prague Symphony.
Beethoven's
Pathetique. Some people even suggested a Lutheran melody called Ein Festberg. Personally, we're not that skilled in music theory and counterpoint to figure it out. But if any of you are interested in that type of thing, definitely check it out. You know, each variation is written for a different friend as well, right?
Wow.
So it's like coding your friend's personality into music. What a nerd.
Yeah, like, we had so much time, that guy.
I love it. Yeah.
Alright, next one. Sibelius' 8th Symphony. Where is the manuscript? It's his biggest project he spent. Alright? Like 20 years composing. Yeah. And he never really officially published it.
Okay.
So the story goes that he's always trying to finish it, but he just burns it. You know, last few pages. Just burns
I've heard that he just destroyed it.
Why are you destroying? Just keep it for reference.
Yeah.
Like, come on, man. Yeah. 25 years later, in 1945, he wrote, "I have finished my 8th Symphony several times, but I'm still not satisfied with it."
Bro, this guy's such a perfectionist.
Yeah.
It's the typical...
Well, he did quit violin.
He did.
Because he was like, it wasn't good enough. But
and then he composes Sibelius.
Yeah, I know.
Like, bro.
Yes, I'm pretty sure you're alright. He wrote almost no music for the rest of his life. And his daughter said that the Symphony 8 did not exist. So that's weird how his daughter said that. But he said, "I finished it," and he's still not satisfied with it, right?
Did he actually finish it? Or was he just drinking vodka?
Yeah,
pretending to be productive, but
yeah,
he's just not.
It's in my head. So you don't really know if he's finished it or not, right?
Uh-huh.
But there's fragments of it found from scholars that have been catalogued that there were sketches of the symphonies, the ending. But there's several of the manuscripts have been they've just been identified, but it's never complete. No one really knows. Like, was he just uncomfortable with it? Was it like he doesn't want to share his experiments? Because, you know, composers always experiment. They try things after a certain phase. And that's why we have these revolutions in composition. No one really knows what his real intention was about this.
So we actually just found this too, literally 2 days ago, that some musicians tried to recreate an idea of what the 8th Symphony would have sounded like based on these sketches that were being identified. Again, it's tentative. There's no proof that that was his intention of the 8th Symphony, but I don't know. You gotta check this out. What an opening.
It's just,
those harmonies.
you can tell he's evolving.
Yeah. He always sought after perfection. His approach to symphony writing is the most structural integrity you can get. So in the classical era, symphonies were 20 minutes, and then Beethoven, Bruckner, Mahler became like over an hour long. Sibelius was compressing it to see how concise he can present all the musical ideas. And his 7th symphony was just 20 minutes, one movement.
Yeah.
And it's just such a shame that we never heard his 8th one, because I'm so curious what it sound like. 15 minutes or what?
Yeah, maybe you want to do it in 15 seconds, you never know.
Sacrilegious Sibelius. Alright, last conspiracy.
Yeah.
You guys may have heard about this, but it is the curse of the ninth.
Ooh.
That's right. Why do composers always die after the ninth symphony? Some people did less. Shostakovich did, but he's an exception.
But a lot of them.
I mean, here's a list, alright? Schubert died in the middle of writing his 10th. Bruckner died, his 9th was unfinished. Vaughan Williams, Mahler, Dvorak, Spohr, Glazunov. The list goes on. To give you a bit of context, before Beethoven, people wrote a lot of symphonies. Haydn wrote 107, Mozart wrote 41. And here comes Beethoven, this pivotal historic figure in classical music, and he dies after the 9th one. And since Beethoven, people have been dying after the 9th. Like what? They just dropped dead after the 9th one.
I don't know why I'm laughing. It's just so like, why?
Yeah.
There's all these stories about composers freaking out.
Yeah, they were genuinely scared to write the
like,
9th one. So, some examples, right? Mahler was obsessed with the curse, and after writing his 8th symphony, he wrote Song to the Earth, which is basically a symphony. But he refused to call it a symphony and called it a song cycle. And then he eventually wrote the 9th symphony. It's funny because the end of the 9th symphony almost sounds like death, right? It's like transcendence. But then he was like, I'm still alive. I beat the curse. So he went to start his 10th one and then he died. Is that bro? Philip Glass wrote his 10th symphony before premiering his 9th. He's like, I'm not going to perform my 9th, I'm going to write my 10th. This guy was thinking ahead. Yeah. Schoenberg even wrote about it. He's like, it seems that 9th is the limit. He who wants to go beyond must pass away.
Oh my god. Yeah.
Might be just coincidence if there's some actual curse on composers.
Yeah.
Who knows?
I also wonder what type of psychological self-infliction they could be doing with this curse.
Possibly. What if these composers was like possessed by some?
Yeah.
Maybe they made like a contract with the devil to get like really good composing skills.
Like Paganini, but like.
But then you have to die
devil.
by the 9th symphony. Right?
It's like all your symphonies will be remembered, but there's a 99% chance you have to give me your soul.
When you hit your 9th symphony,
and you can't even
time's up.
Time's up. That's the rules, and they sign it. That's so weird, though. It's just, and for Schoenberg to even say that.
Wow.
He who wants to go beyond it must pass away. Was that a quote from the devil? No.
Composers out there, let us know.
If you hit your
be careful.
Be careful. If you hit your 10th symphony, once you go past 11 and 12, you're fine.
Yeah. Alright, cool. Did you enjoy this video? Hope you did. If you did, hit like, subscribe. Definitely helps the channel out. And
now it's practice time.